Hello and welcome to Retirement Clarity Radio. I am your host, Scott Newhouse, and I am so excited that you're here. We are transitioning into talking about Social Security. So our last few episodes were all on Medicare. Now we're going to have a few episodes about Social Security. And specifically, today's episode is going to be understanding broadly your Social Security options. For so many Americans, Social Security is a really important retirement income tool, and we kind of need to maximize it so that we can have the best retirement possible. Frankly, some of us may have so much money, Social Security doesn't matter that much. But for the overwhelming majority amount of Americans, Social Security does play an important part in your retirement income. And so we just want to be smart with it, understand the options, and make the best decision that we think possible. Before we get into today's episode, I've written a few books, and a couple of them talk about Social Security specifically. 65 questions to ask and answer before you retire, and then also 10 steps to getting what you deserve, a guide to your Social Security and Medicare decisions. If you want those books for free, yes, for free, go to freeretirementbooks.com and you can get a PDF copy there. Again, that's freeretirementbooks.com. And that can help augment, supplement what we're going to learn in today's episode. But let's just get right into it. So I was doing research for today's episode, and I saw something that makes me a little nervous, which is the most common age for people to select Social Security is 62. That's when they're first eligible. And we're going to get into why that's a problem in a second. But I'll say it right now. For a lot of people, frankly, they might be taking their benefits too early, and it's really going to affect them in their 70s, 80s, and their 90s. So yeah, they may need the money now, and I understand that. I really do understand that. But it's kind of like thinking short term when we need to think long term about our Social Security decisions. And frankly, there's also a number of people who just don't understand the implications of taking Social Security early. So if you listen to my episode, read my books, maybe read some other books, do your own due diligence and say, you know what, I've considered all the factors, I still want to take it early, that's fine. That's an informed decision. I may not necessarily agree with it, and I may agree with it. But as long as you can make an informed decision about your Social Security, stuttering a little bit, as long as you can make an informed decision about your Social Security decision, I support that. And I'll be happy with that. Here's some questions just to lead us off. I'm not going to be able to answer this for you. I think you might be able to ask these questions with your spouse if you're married. If not, you can just ask yourself these questions to help think about when to claim Social Security. First is, when do you want to receive your retirement benefits? Should you wait until you can receive a higher benefit amount? Do you want to work past your full retirement age? And we're going to get into all this in today's episode. Do you want to retire early? That would be a factor in your Social Security decision. If you do want to retire early, will you need Social Security to get by, or can you use other sources of income and assets while you delay Social Security? And then also, frankly, do you have any known health issues that might affect how long you live? I ask that because frankly, how long you live goes into the consideration of when you should take your Social Security benefit. Obviously, none of us know exactly, how long we're going to be on this earth. But if you have a known health issue and you don't think that you're going to be around too long, then frankly, it might make sense for you to take it a little bit earlier than planned, so you can get benefits earlier if you don't anticipate living too long of a life. So those are some questions to ask. I'd really do that with a spouse and just talk about those questions with a spouse if you have one. And if not, just think about it yourself. So today's episode, I'm going to talk about the three broad ways that you can claim your Social Security. It's either going to be, the first one's going to be take them early. The second one option is going to be take them at your full retirement age. And then the third option is going to be take them after your full retirement age all the way up to age 70. So let's just jump right into it. So as I said before, the earliest you can claim your Social Security benefit is 62. There is some exceptions to this. For instance, if you're a widow, you could be able to take Social Security benefits at age 60. But in most circumstances, you're going to be able to take benefits at age 62. However, the big thing you need to know about this if you take it early is that your benefits will be reduced. So if you take your Social Security benefits at age 62, you're only going to be receiving anywhere between 70 and 75% of your possible benefits. Now, if you want to get 100% of your total Social Security benefits, you need to wait until something called your full retirement age, which we'll get into in a second. And this is a really important decision because that's going to affect the lifetime of your Social Security benefits. So if you take 70% of your benefits at age 62, that's your choice for life. There is a 12-month window when you can kind of reverse that decision, but if you go beyond that 12-month window and you just keep at those benefits, that's going to be your benefit adjusted for inflation for life. So you're not going to be able to get this back. You're just going to have those 70% of what your benefits would have been. Now, if you do decide to take it early, you've got two other choices once you take it early. You can either stop working completely and claim your Social Security benefit, and again, that's going to permanently reduce your benefit. Per the Social Security website, your benefit is going to be reduced by 5/9 of 1%. So again, it's 5/9 of 1% for each month that you take your benefit before your normal retirement age up to 36 months. If you take it more than 36 months before your full retirement age, then your benefit is reduced by 5/12 of 1% per month. So you could do the math. The math is frankly boring. The main point is if you take your benefits early, Social Security is going to reduce your benefit by a small fraction of a percent each month that you take it early. And then that reduction is on a sliding scale. And so let me just put this into English since Social Security wasn't too clear. If you take your benefits at age 63, the amount that you would receive would be higher than it was at 62. And if you take it at 64, then that benefit would be higher than what you would if you would have taken it at 63. And on and on and on. And that holds true all the way up until age 70, at which point you're going to receive the highest benefit. So that's option one if you take it early. Stop working entirely and just have that reduced Social Security benefit. Now, there is something else to consider, which is if you take your benefit early and you're still working, there's going to be more differences to your benefit. And the Social Security office is potentially going to reduce your Social Security benefit even more. And so basically here's how it works. It works based on your income. If you're working and you make too much money, Social Security is going to reduce the amount of benefits that your Social Security check gets you, in addition to the reduced benefits that you had previously. And so let me just run through these numbers as of 2020. So if you are working and you make above $18,240, then Social Security is going to reduce your benefit by $1 for each $2 that you earn above that $18,240 number. If you make more than $48,600 and you take your benefit, Social Security benefit before your full retirement age, before you get to that 100%, then Social Security is going to deduct your benefit $1 for each $3 that you made above that $48,000 number. This is a little confusing, and you really should go check out my blog if you want to see the actual numbers. But basically, if you make above that $18,240 income limit, then Social Security is going to reduce your benefit by $1 for each $2 that you make above that number. Now, if you make above $48,600, then for each $3 that you make above that number, Social Security is going to reduce your benefit by $1. Hope that makes sense. But so basically, if you take your benefit early, and then I should also say that Social Security will pay you back once you get to your full retirement age. So you'll get those benefits back, but you will have to wait until your full retirement age to get them. So that's our first broad option. Take benefits early. You can either stop working entirely and just take your reduced Social Security amount, or you can keep on working, take your reduced Social Security amount, and then also potentially have Social Security's office reduce your benefits by even more if you make too much income. Your second main option is to receive benefits at your full retirement age, which is going to be between age 66 and 67, depending on when you were born. If you were born after 1960, then your full retirement age will be 67. If you were born before then, it's going to be at some point when you turn 66. So 66 in 3 months, 66 in 7 months, 66 in 10 months. You can find that out on Social Security's website exactly when that is. Now, your full retirement age corresponds to receiving 100% of your Social Security benefits, so it won't be reduced at all. There's also one other benefit of waiting until your full retirement age, is that if you're still working, there's no limit on the amount of income that you earn. So we talked in the previous section, if you make too much and you receive Social Security benefits early, that Social Security is going to reduce your benefit amount if you make too much money. Once you reach full retirement age, that goes away and you can keep all of your benefits no matter how much you earn. So I really do love waiting at least until that full retirement age to get 100% of your benefits and to not have to worry about that earning limit. And so that was our second option. Our third option, and we're coming to the end, is receiving benefits after your full retirement age, and you can do this all the way up until age 70. Something that I should have mentioned before that I'll mention right now is that your Social Security benefits grow 8% per year that you delay them. So all the way from age 62 up to age 70, your benefits are growing 8% a year, and they stop growing at age 70. So there's no benefit to waiting until 71, 72, or 73 to take it, because the dollar amount isn't going to keep on growing. Now, I mentioned earlier, you can either take your benefits early and get 70 to 75% of your benefits, or you can wait until full retirement age and get 100% of your benefits. And if you wait up until age 70, you'll actually get around 132% of your possible benefits. And you get that by something called delayed retirement credits. So you wait until after full retirement age, you get some extra credits, just like those homework assignments that we used to do, and then you can get up to 132% of your Social Security benefits if you wait until age 70. Also, as I said before, there's not going to be any earnings limit if you're working past full retirement age, so you don't have to worry about that. And then there's one other benefit of waiting until age 70, and potentially if you're still working. So Social Security calculates your benefit by looking at your 35 highest earning years. So if you're still working in your 60s, and let's say you're potentially making more than you were in your 20s and 30s, your income in those years might replace the income that you earned in your 20s and 30s. Since you're just starting out in your 20s and 30s, maybe your income isn't too high, but in your 60s, you might be making much more money. And again, Social Security is going to count your 35 highest earning years to get your Social Security benefit. And if you have more than 35 years, it's just going to take the top 35 earning years that you have. So if you have more than 35 years and your earning in your 60s is way more than it was in your 20s and 30s, it'll actually replace those prior lower earning years, which in turn also boosts the benefit calculation with your Social Security. So that's pretty much all we've got for today. There's a number of things to consider when it comes to Social Security. You got to figure out, if I want to retire early, am I going to have other assets I can live off of while I wait for my Social Security benefit to grow? You need to think about your health. Do you have family issues? Do you have something going on right now that, frankly, sadly, might shorten your life? If so, well then, you know what? Maybe you don't need to worry too much about delaying your Social Security benefits. Next thing to think about is your spouse and what their expected benefits are and what their kind of plan is for retirement. And hopefully you two are doing it together. And then last thing you need to think about is whether you're still working, because you are going to have Social Security benefits limited if you're still working before your full retirement age and taking Social Security. So those are some things to think about. I'm not necessarily recommending you wait until full retirement age or up until age 70, but I do see a lot of big benefits if you're able to do so and if it makes sense with your specific financial situation. So again, if you want to learn more about Social Security, make sure to subscribe to this podcast, Retirement Clarity Radio, retirementclarityradio.com. You can also find us on Apple, Spotify, and hopefully all the podcast platforms soon. You want to read more and not just listen more, you can pick up my retirement books at freeretirementbooks.com. And that's pretty much all we got for today. So thank you so much for listening all the way through. If you have any questions, send me an email. It'll be in the show notes, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Thanks again for listening. As a reminder, you should consult with a financial advisor familiar with the specific circumstances of your unique financial situation before making any financial decisions. Nothing in this podcast is a solicitation for the sale or purchase of any securities. Any mentions of rate of return are hypothetical in nature and not a guarantee of future returns. Scott Newhouse, CFP, is an investment advisor representative of Forthright Finances, a California and Nevada registered investment advisor.